Hi, I'm Mitch Gallagher. Welcome to GearFest 2016. I'm joined today by Dave Friedman and Grover Jackson. Thanks for coming in, guys.
Thank you so much.
Glad to have you here. It's going to be a great weekend.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. Dave, this is your second GearFest, isn't it?
Yes, and hopefully a little cooler this year.
Yeah, it was baking last year, wasn't it? It's going to be a nice day, though. I don't see any rain in the forecast. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So we got something really cool going on here at GearFest. We've got your new guitar line here, the Friedman guitars. And this is something the two of you came up with together, correct?
Yeah, it was sort of conceived. I have a long history with all sorts of vintage amplifiers and vintage guitars. And I really wanted to create more of a vintage style instrument, but with more modern playability that generally a vintage one doesn't have unless you really do a lot of things to it.
It's no longer vintage at that point.
Yeah, at that point, yeah, exactly. So, you know, to have the rich tones and the feel kind of a vintage guitar, but again, retaining that slightly more modern playability.
Right, right.
Without going too far.
Sure.
Also, with adding some other features that, you know, what sets this apart from other T-style guitars is the question. And there's several things we've done differently on these guitars. First off, it is a plecked fingerboard.
Right.
Frets.
Sure.
And
so for those who may not know, plecking is a computer-guided process that dresses all the frets and set them to the optimal playing level, gets the action basically perfect.
Yes,
right out of the box.
correct.
Yes.
Some other features of these instruments, we have a very adjustable truss rod, which is always a stickler when you have vintage style instruments. And I wanted to be able to just take a little Allen wrench or take any sort of little poking instrument of some sort to adjust it, which you generally can readily get something, a little screwdriver or something to do it. You don't have to take the neck off, you don't have to scrape your pick guard or your pickup or anything.
Right, right.
So that was one of the important factors I wanted. Also, it's a compound radius on the guitars. So it's it's 10
to 14.
10 to 14
so
radius.
Sort of very modern kind of style of fingerboard shape.
Right. Right. What are the guitars made of? What is the body? What is the neck material?
Well, the T-style guitar comes with two different body wood choices. This particular one is an alder.
Okay.
And this one's mahogany.
The trans red one here is a mahogany. Maple neck, rosewood board.
Right.
Vintage style. You can see it. Vintage style Kluson tuners. All aged hardware.
Right.
Nitrocellulose lacquer. Aged also.
Right.
Aged pearl pickguard on this, but there's other pickguard options that can be had. Black, parchment, some different choices. Different colors to be had also that can be ordered that way.
Tell us about the pickups.
The pickups Grover and I worked on.
Yes.
It's essentially a custom design that we worked on. They're definitely in the more vintage vein, meaning they're not in a screaming hot style pickup.
Right.
The neck humbucker is extremely round and not too muddy in any way. So it looks like a big round single coil in some respects, although it is a humbucking. We have two volumes, two tones on the instruments, three-way switch up top.
Right. One of the things that impressed me with all three of these that I picked up is they're extremely lightweight. Are you selecting the wood specifically for that?
Yes, the wood is selected to be between 7 and 8 pounds, somewhere in there on all the guitars that we ship.
Right, right, which really makes them resonant. They really ring very nicely, particularly the one you're holding.
Yeah.
So what's up with this, Grover? Why is this one in pieces?
Well, one of the things that we wanted to address and I addressed a while ago was traditional bolt-on neck guitars typically have a problem where if you bump them, If there's the holes that the neck plate screws go through are larger, and if the neck slot is slightly large, then the neck shifts and all of a sudden your string alignment is off.
Sure.
So I came up with the idea a few years ago, since everything is CNC machined and very precisely done, we machined 2 1/4-inch pinholes in the back of the neck and 2 1/4-inch pinholes in the neck slot. And so the neck is held on with the 4 screws traditionally, but there are 2 precision steel dowel pins that hold the neck in place. So you're guaranteed of always having correct alignment.
Right.
So it's a little innovation, but if you're playing out a lot and the instruments get thrown in the back of a truck and all of a sudden you get there to the gig and the string's over here and it should be over there and you're pulling on the neck, it's just a real pain. So this eliminates all of that.
I think many of us have had the experience of grabbing a guitar and you get enthusiastic, shall we say, and you hear this crack and the neck is kind of shifted just a little bit and all of a sudden everything's different. So,
that won't happen. I mean, if you hit something hard enough for it to move, you've broken the guitar. So don't do that, please. Kids, don't do that, okay? But yeah, I mean, basically, I feel very fortunate to be working with Dave because Dave really has his finger on the pulse of what players are wanting today. And so the collaboration for me has just been a great one. He brings tremendous contemporary ideas to what's going on, and this is sort of an amalgamation of a lot of things. When you get to an instrument of this level, this quality, we're talking about nuances. I mean, it doesn't have a new spring-loaded doodad thingamajig. It's the accumulation of a lot of knowledge that Dave has acquired over many years of working with everybody.
Right. All
Pretty
major
much
artists.
Many different
everybody.
artists.
So it's a working man's instrument.
Right. And you bring a little bit of experience yourself as well.
A little bit, yeah.
So started back in 1973, right? Building your first guitars and working on from there?
I've made a few,
Some iconic instruments through the years. So
a few.
Great to have these join the lineage.
Absolutely.
I would say.
Yeah. Couldn't be more thrilled.
So we have 2 models here. You've got the dual humbucker model, and the one I'm holding is the dual P90s. So we've got the bridge pickup, neck pickup, and both pickups. The guitar is really alive, really rings, it's really resonant. So let's switch them out here and we'll plug in the humbucker and give that a quick test. See if we can do it without injuring anybody. I think this guitar may even be more live than that one, and that one is super resonant. But as we were just discussing, these are very consistent. The neck shape is very consistent on these. But you said there is a little bit of hand sanding going on and some shaping there. So it's a comfortable C shape to this that really fits well in the palm of your hand. I see what you're saying, Dave. It's a very articulate neck pickup. It has a nice attack to it and rings like a bell there. Very nice. Guys, thanks so much for coming in. The guitars are awesome. I've really been enjoying checking these out. I think people are really going to love getting their hands on them. They sound great, they play great, they're super comfortable, and with these innovations of the way the neck is so stable, really cool instruments. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. And enjoy GearFest. I think we're going to have a good time.
Oh, yeah, we will.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And thank you for joining me. I'm Mitch Gallagher from Sweetwater.